I'm Kristen.
And I'm Maddie.
We're sisters and heavy readers.
Join us every single week to talk stories, interview authors, and collab with fellow book nerds.
Welcome to the Chris and Matt Show.
Welcome back to the show, you guys. We thought it was high time. We talked about a couple of these books that we just don't yap about for whatever reason. And as we made this list, we were cackling because it was like, we've literally rated all of these books 5 stars. Why do they never make it into our top 10 lists? There's so many, big, bad, these are the ones lists. And for some reason, I don't know why these books don't make it in there, but they absolutely deserve to be talked about. And we are done gatekeeping them.
Yeah, not us being the gatekeepers.
We don't mean to be.
Truly, we just have read a lot of books, and it takes a good little swipe through the Goodreads history to realize, oh, shoot, there are some 5 stars I have completely kept away from our people. So hopefully you guys can add some new 5-star recs to your TBR today.
So as you all know, we typically talk about mostly sci-fi and fantasy. I'd say that's our main bag. I especially love big, long, chunky series. But today, we don't really have a lot of those for you. We're going to be sharing a lot of things from a lot of different genres and a lot of different areas of our taste. And a lot of it is like a little smaller. You could bite it off a little quicker.
Yeah, I think this is going to be great for palate cleansers if you're looking to try a new genre. A lot of these I got from a book club I was in where we would rotate who picked the book every month. So they're books that I would have never picked, but somebody put it up to the book club and I ended up really enjoying it. So that's always a fun surprise too. So maybe these will be good for book clubs.
For sure. So if you are listening to this in a place where you can rate and review us, we would love you so much. Actually, just hit the follow button. That's like the biggest help you can be. But also, if you are on YouTube, you might notice we are literally right on the brink of meeting our goal of 20,000 subscribers. So please hit the subscribe button and we would love you forever and give you so many forehead kisses.
Oh, I'll kiss you on the mouth. Like,
wow.
Mouth kisses for you.
Wow. Kristen's going hard. Also, if you have read any of these or you also recommend them or you literally haven't heard of them and you're like, oh my gosh, we had no idea you'd read these, let us know in the comments and that would be great. We'd love to engage with you there.
Okay, I want to go first.
Yeah, let's kick things off with an author we rave about, but a title we really hardly ever mention.
Well, the truth is I only read this book because I thought it was recommended to me.
Oh.
But it wasn't.
Oh.
I asked the person, I'm like, I read that book that you suggested and I loved it. And he was like, I actually recommended a different book by him. And I said, whoopsies. So, but I loved it. So I'm talking about Recursion by Blake Crouch. He is really well known for his Wayward Pines trilogy, which we liked, and Dark Matter, which also has a great screen adaptation. But Recursion does not currently, and I'm like fingers crossing that they do this. This is going to have the same kind of mind-bendy, brain puzzling thriller that Blake Crouch does, but I loved the premise because you're hanging out with a detective and he is trying to find out why so many people are getting this sickness. And the sickness is in the brain where people are having this false memory syndrome. And what it means is they're remembering things that they believe they've done, but factually they've never done it. But they're having false memories and it's basically making them go crazy. Then your other character is a neuroscientist who is trying to create a mechanism that can help you relive memories that you loved, like your first kiss, your wedding day, the day your child graduated from high school, whatever it is. So she's working on this mechanism. So there's these 2 characters, they're in their own spaces. And then of course in Blake Crouch manner, they meld and there is a very sinister bad guy. This is a true thriller for me and I can't go too much into it without spoilers, but you will not be able to predict what happens. He completely flips what you think is happening upside down and it has actually a really tender, sweet ending, which is so weird when you're reading Blake Crouch because none of the book predicts that it's going to make you kind of get in your feels, but then you get in your feels. So I feel like this could be literally recommended to anyone that wants something fast-paced, unpredictable, wants the Blake Crouch snack size, but also going to hit like a punch. It's going to stick with you. I mean, it's like riveting.
Did you like it more than Dark Matter?
Yes.
Oh boy. Dark Matter did that for me too. Like it got me in my feels.
This is not talking down Dark Matter, but I was blown away. I think the next book I'm going to read by him is Upgrade, which is the one I was actually
recommended.
Yeah. I think you had Priory of the Orange Tree.
We have to talk about Priory of the Orange Tree.
Which I have not read. So sell it to us.
I know. It's a chunky big brick. And it does have some, I would say, loose ends at the end, but it doesn't yet have a sequel. So you can read it as a standalone.
Do we have a date for the sequel?
No, I don't think so. There is a prequel, which I have not read. But no, it kind of stands on its own with a couple of loose ends at the end. I mean, a lot of it does wrap up, but yeah, there's just like some, we could do another one. So
It's a big book.
Yeah, it may end up being a series, but like on Goodreads, it doesn't say, it does. It says the Roots in Chaos series, book 1, but there's no intended or dated sequel that I know of. So the Priory of the Orange Tree. Wow. Okay. So it's epic. It's epic fantasy. And the main character, Ied, is this mage who's undercover, okay, and has been for a long time. She's been a plant in the royal court. And so she's supposed to be like a lady's maid, but she's actually a spy and an assassin and all of these things. And she is protecting the royal family from assassins. So it's a huge political drama where you follow not just Ied, but you also follow these 2 other characters, 3 points of view at completely different parts of the map. And that's how you kind of learn the political strife in this world. And there are dragons, there is forbidden magic, and then of course there's this order that Ied is in, the Priory of the Orange Tree. And so there's like the religious, political tension. There's also romance.
Okay.
There's friendships and betrayal and some questing and good guys and morally gray guys. And are they this or are they that? And there's coming of age and there's trials. Like it kind of has a little bit of everything. And it's just like pretty big, epic, fun scope. And I read it right in the like depths of my Sarah J. Maas journey, actually. So I read it right between A Court of Thorns and Roses series and Throne of Glass series. And I was really, really loving having a heavy dose of romance in my epics, but I was craving something like even more epic and more political even than any of Sarah J. Maas's series, and this delivered on that. So I loved it. I ate it up. I think I did it immersion. So I think I also did some of it on audiobook, but I loved it. I would love to go back to it. If there ever was a sequel, not a prequel, I would definitely read more about these characters. And I think you would really enjoy it, Kristen. I rated it 5 stars. I loved it.
It's so crazy because I remember adding this to my TBR right after you read it. And I know it's still on my Goodreads super long TBR, but I think I'm going to go through and do a clean out of it and I'm going to keep it on there.
Yeah, I would just say about Priory, like it is, I think that people dismiss it because it feels slow at first.
Okay.
But I'm just like, after reading so many epic 5, 6, 7, 8, 14 book series, I'm like, what Samantha Shannon is able to do in one book is pretty impressive.
Wow.
Like you really get a lot of payoff. I mean, yes, there is a setup portion of the book. There's a couple hundred pages where you're not invested in the characters yet. You're flipping back and forth between POVs. You're learning the political structure of the world. You're learning what the tension is.
Okay.
How are these threads going to weave together? But she does it. And she does it in one book. And I feel like that's quite a feat. That's quite, I mean, I think it's 800 or 1,000 pages, but still compared to these massive series, she gets where she's going pretty efficiently.
I really want you to start following her on Instagram so that we can see updates if she does any for her next book coming out.
Will do.
This is what we do as sisters, right? I'm like, go do that. Add that to the list.
I will do that for you. So sorry. I will do that for you. Okay. I'm doing it immediately right now. Kristen has been chomping at the bit to talk to you about this episode's sponsor, BetterHelp.
Yes, I have been a happy BetterHelp client for 2 years, and it has been some of the most productive therapy experiences of my life.
Are you going to get into it, or?
I mean, a little bit. Basically, I met my spouse when we were teenagers. And obviously, Maddie and I have known each other our whole lives. And as my life partner and my business partner, these two relationships mean the most to me. But honestly, they probably have the worst habits attached. After all, we learned to communicate and interact before we had even matured.
True.
And with kids, career changes, and aging, I just wanted to show up as my best self for the people that I love. My therapist has been pivotal for me and so practical. Together, we've created action and response plans. We've redesigned how I respond in certain situations. And I've been able to focus less on keeping the status quo and more on being honest and brave in my communication.
So if you want to try BetterHelp, you'll just click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/KristenMads and fill out a questionnaire. The questionnaire will match you with a therapist in as little as a few days, and you can easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost if it's not the right fit.
But I have found an amazing fit with my therapist. So I'm obviously in love with BetterHelp, but I'm not the only one.
Right, because with over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform you can trust. Use our link to get 10% off your first month of therapy.
And we wish you all the best as you pursue healthy relationships with those that you love, but most importantly, with yourself.
Okay, the next book I'm going to talk to you guys about was absolutely, how do I say it took over my life? It was so powerful in its impact for me. This is a memoir. It is called Educated by Tara Westover. This is not like an easy read because Tara's life is wild, bonkers, out of this world. But I think that there's so much to be learned with her just expressing what she went through. So Maddie has not read this yet.
Nope.
And this is my sales pitch to you.
I'm
okay?
ready for it.
So young girl does not enter a school until the age of 17.
Wait, what? Like no school?
No, because
Like not even homeschooled?
minimal homeschooling from mom and dad, but she basically came from a survivalist family, true story, where she would sleep with her survival bag next to her, right? Because like doomsday is coming, need to be ready to go. Highly religious home, the kind of religion that dad kind of just embellishes and makes his own, right? And no hospitals, no education, because obviously anything created by society is from Satan, essentially. So when siblings of hers would be injured, like, a broken body part that's like, you need to go get that set. It was like essential oils were what was going to heal you, right? Babies are born, don't you dare go to the hospital. And so what is very, very good about this book is learning psychologically what happens when the people around you basically tell you who the enemies are in life. And then as an adult, you find out these people weren't my enemies. The people who were my enemies basically needed to keep me caged in.
Whoa.
It is like some of the things that happen, you're like, there's no freaking way this was her real life. And it was her real life.
And she survived.
And she survived. And it's weird because it's not like one of those things where you're like, it doesn't feel like when you hit, for me, it didn't feel like in a fantasy world when there's triggers because she says everything so matter-of-factly.
Oh.
Like, it's just like, this is just the way it was. And you're just like, for reals?
It's like not dramatized.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there is a nice arc by the time she wrote this book and you're kind of hearing about her life now looking back.
Wow.
Her insights into life and what she is now doing. It's just like, dude,
Well,
I've got nothing to complain about for the rest of my freaking life. Just if you want a book that's just like fascinating, but also is going to make you feel so grateful for your life, it's going to make you maybe have some empathy for people in your life that you feel like are outliers and maybe why that is. Oh, Maddie. It's like very, me and my culty life. Like I just like love a good culty story and yeah, it's crazy.
wow. But you think I would like it?
Oh, I think you'd be fascinated.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. It's on my list, so I should get to
And
it.
it's short.
Yeah.
And I have it so you can borrow it.
Right.
So that's Educated people. Ooh, I really like a good memoir. Like once or twice a year, I just want a good, this gets a 4.47 on Goodreads.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Where have I been? What am I doing?
Goodreads Choice Award.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure she was like interviewed by Oprah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of, I read an Oprah's book club pick.
It's basically the same thing.
Well, actually,
Is it?
Yeah, Kristen and I have been trying to finish reading everything on our bookshelves we haven't yet read. So our physical to be read list. And
So proud of
a
us.
random wheel is picking for us, for those of you who don't know. And my wheel picked Wellness by Nathan Hill, which was an Oprah's book club pick. And
Okay.
I was petulant and whiny, and
I don't know what was going on. What was in retrograde when you got that book?
I think a gremlin took over my body. She was not happy.
I know. And I was like, you bought this book. Like nobody bought this for you.
I know. It made no sense. I don't know why I was feeling such a strong resistance to it, but I picked it up and my mind was very quickly changed. So, Wellness is a literary fiction about Jack and Elizabeth, and they are a couple who meet in Chicago in the 90s when they're in college, and it's a little bit about their life, but mostly it is a very confronting story for me personally, because while I'm a little bit younger than Jack and Elizabeth, I have absolutely myself experienced and watched my peers experience this pursuit of optimization, perfection, wellness, being good, being right, being healthy and whole, and this just aggressive pursuit of wholeness. And whether that has been the pursuit of manifestation or manifesting the right life or pursuing health via yoga or crystals or eating the right things or taking the right supplements or having the perfect exercise regimen or having the right house or having the right open shelves or having the right dishes or having the right aesthetic life or raising children the right way and reading the right articles and making sure you're reading the right books and making sure that they have the right education and they don't have too much screen time and that they have a varied palate and they don't eat too much junk food.
Well, I'm exhausted.
Right. If you're part of this generation, as I am, there is this like incredible push. There's messaging everywhere that tells you this is how you can hack your life and this is how you'll be happier and how you'll be well. The story unfolds just talking about Jack and Elizabeth hitting their 40s and all of the things that they are pursuing, but also how empty and unhappy their life is.
Oh.
And I think that the message I'm taking away from the story is to hold my beliefs quite loosely and to be cautious, not cynical, but cautious about what is being sold to me that is supposed to quote unquote up level my life and make me more well. And to maybe pay attention to the parts of my life that are already quite well and to make sure I'm defining what wellness and happiness and wholeness are for myself, and also to just not be so aggressively in this rat race of pursuing health and wellness.
Wow.
Whatever that looks like, whether that's spiritual health and wellness or success or happiness or healing or whatever these things are that we pursue, it's like to what
end?
To what end and at what cost?
Oh.
And especially what are the things that we do that are creating walls and barriers of belief between us and other people, where it's about who's right and who's wrong and who's up-leveling better and who's optimized better and who's winning and getting ahead and getting things done more efficiently than everyone else. Because it just doesn't really matter. There is no destination.
Everything's a hack, right?
Yes.
It's just
this
like,
book is like
it's so clickbaity, our lives.
Yes.
Well, adding her to my TBR, she sold it.
It was touching and funny and smart. It was smart as a whip. And you couldn't hide from it. It was great.
Oh, and you love that stuff. You eat it up.
Yeah, it was quite clever. Well done, Nathan Hill.
Well, I don't know if this book rec is going to change your life, but it is fantastic.
Well, that's all we need.
Let's jump into some YA fantasy, one of my favorite places to hang out.
Love it.
This is a duology, another thing that I love. Something about the tightness of a duology.
Yeah.
It's like you have enough story, but it's not like indulgent. You know what I mean? So Laini Taylor wrote Strange the Dreamer and the Muse of Nightmares. I got this rec from Peru's project. She has some great kind of cozy fantasies. I wouldn't necessarily say this is too cozy, but it is very wholesome. So in this story, you are following like a little junior librarian who is fascinated by an old town, village, civilization that was called Weep. Okay. And nobody else cares, but he's down in the library doing scholarly things. And he's like learning the language. He's absolutely obsessed with their customs. And he has basically become like the most knowing about this old place of Weep, but nobody cares. Okay. Like literally nobody cares. Until somebody basically is like, we're going to go there. We think that place exists. So he is called upon to go with them. He is nerding out so hard. Like, oh my God, I'm going to get to go there. They think it's this lost civilization, but like there's like some understanding that there's some life there. What I didn't know I was getting when I got this book was I was actually going to get one of the most romantic love stories I've ever read. Laini Taylor's writing is poetic. I would comp it to how I felt when I read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. It's just like lyrical. You just want to highlight the whole freaking thing. Absolutely stunning writing. So one thing about Laszlo is that he goes into this like dream state where he communicates with these blue-skinned goddesses, which sounds bizarro. But the dream world and reality kind of start intermixing, which makes it delicious. So if you want something that is so romantic that you will absolutely be on the floor a week with romance, this is it for you. But also if you just want to read something that feels like the prose of poetry, you will love this. I need to read more Laini Taylor, like stat. So freaking good.
You keep telling me I got to read that one.
Oh, I want to reread it. I feel like a really good read is one that you're like, and I'm ready to reread.
I've just heard her writing style is so like original and beautiful.
Yeah. Like I don't even know who to comp it to because it's just like
Totally
different.
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you read her other books yet?
No, I really want to.
Okay.
If they're this good. If not, I'll just reread this duology, like
yeah,
rinse and repeat.
I feel like I've also heard people have gotten like tattoos for the series because it has, is that the one? It has so much like evocative imagery that would be great for tattoos.
Yes.
Okay. Your face.
Yes. I like want to reread it this minute. Like
Okay.
it makes me so emotional. It's one of those books that just like literally seeps into you.
And why haven't we talked about it sooner, you guys? These are the questions we ask ourselves.
Well, I did read it in the middle of a giant slump where every other book wasn't hitting, but for some reason this duology, I was like, dang, it's so good. Even it like unslumped me. Okay, Maddie,
Yumi and the Nightmare Painter.
talk about artistry.
Oh my goodness. By Brandon Sanderson. We do talk quite a bit about Brandon Sanderson on this channel, and so does the rest of the internet. So unless you've been living under a rock, like you probably have heard about Yumi, but maybe you haven't heard us gush about it as much as it should be gushed about. I love this story so much. I think that what Brandon did with Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, outside of even a great plot, is he just created an incredibly visual world. And he used so much symbolism that the themes they come across sort of like they would like in a fairy tale or like one of those folklore tales you would read when you were younger, where like the imagery itself gives you the message. So Yumi and the Nightmare Painter is about two people who live in different worlds, and every night they switch places. So Yumi wakes up in Painter's world, Painter wakes up in Yumi's world, and they are trying to pose as each other, and it gives immense empathy off the bat for the experiences the other has. On Painter's world, it's always night. In Yumi's world, it's always dry and sunny. Painter's job is like very lowly janitorial. He literally paints away nightmares to protect his town. He's kind of like I guess what you would consider like a town guard, but like very lowly, whereas she's literally like this goddess artist, and it's not like a practical job at all. It's like a very religious, artistic type job. So even though he's an artist, she's the one who's valued in her society for having like a non-practical job. And in his world, they've made the artist this very like practical, lowly type of job. And it's beautiful to imagine. It's got a great twist. It's got a beautiful romance. And I cried at the end. It just has like, it has the good structure and juice and emotional impact and beats of like a book you read as a kid. Only it's told for adults, and it is very adult, and it's very like show don't tell writing, and it's just full of great imagery and themes. And I think for people who are creatives in any capacity, it probably just hits harder.
Talk about a reread desire.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe after our TBR wheel, we'll start doing a reread wheel.
Yes.
Where every month, just once a month, we spin the wheel and we reread a book that we've wanted to reread.
Yes,
Doesn't that sound
like
indulgent?
That idea. Yes. This has been the year of rereads for me, honestly.
Yeah. No,
and
you've
I've
read
been
a lot.
loving it. It's like how could I love these books even more knowing what's going to happen, but I do.
But you do.
Yeah, and I would still say my favorite Brandon Sanderson book is probably The Way of Kings. I really love The Gathering Storm from the Wheel of Time series that he finished. There are other Brandon Sanderson books that I love, but I think Yumi is just like a very, very special standalone story.
It's so special.
Yeah.
Our dad loved that one too.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to give you a contemporary romance because every now and then this genre just really hits for me, and it really just depends. It just depends. I read more than I love, and when I find one I love, I really love it. So Love in Other Words is by Christina Lauren, which I believe is 2 authors.
Yeah, writing duo.
A writing duo. We love a little duo.
Yeah.
I picked this up at half price books because ours is great. And
Had someone recommended it to you, or you just saw it and were like, this is a book for me?
nope, I just liked the cover.
I love when this happens,
It
Kristen.
was giving like hygge, like cozy, because there's like little log cabin, little socks.
doodles.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, it was a little paperback. And so I started reading it. And what I love about this book is I myself have a very young love. I fell in love with my partner literally as like a child. I feel like I met him at like 15. And this book, they're even younger when they meet, but your guy and girl in the beginning are just 2 little nerds that are like accidental neighbors in like a really kind of like rural area. I believe her parents are divorced. And so I think she lost her mother. Yeah. And so her and her dad have moved into this, like, in my brain, it's an A-frame, but it's like an old school home. But there's this big family next door with a mom and a dad and all these siblings. And she's like all alone with her dad. And basically they just like adopt them. So they become like this beautiful little compound of a family. And up in her house, there's like this quiet little, it's like a big closet where he starts to come up and visit with her, and they just read together and they giggle about books. And it's like, spans years. He's like the first one who like, she finds like an erotica book that he's somehow read. He's like so studious. I just love a little nerd. And she's giggling and he's giggling, and it's like them coming of age, but then also when they go through the really tough stuff of coming of age, dealing with family dynamics. But they're like this little glue where it's like through all the fun stuff, the hard stuff, the exploring of life, it's like it's always them together. And I don't know how to tell you, like,
Is it
emotionally,
like
I just felt, yes.
Hygge contemporary
They're just
romance?
up in a closet snacking. There's just pillows everywhere. And it's like, oh,
Yes.
the love is so touching. I will say I have this thing that Maddie hates, but like there is like a 3rd act moment that I literally hate, but I've just deleted it from my brain.
This is a superpower Kristen has with her 5-star reads.
If 70 to 75% of the book is gold, but the other 25%, there's like this moment that I don't like, I'm just like, meh. It's still perfect.
It's still a perfect book. We just erased the part we don't like.
I think some people don't mind that part. I just was like, it felt a little out of character for me. And this is what happens in books is I don't know if like authors just get really creative for a second. And I'm like, that wasn't the best idea. I'm rewriting that in my head. Don't care. It still is untouchable for me. Again, dying to reread it because just the sweetest, most heartwarming love story I've ever read in a contemporary romance.
I love that.
Oh,
Well, I have a love story to talk about too, but it's not cozy at all. I have to talk about The Wolf Den by Elodie Harper. And this is book 1 in a trilogy, and I highly recommend the full trilogy.
okay.
Book 2, wowza.
No slumping in book 2?
No. But book 1 is also so strong.
Okay.
So The Wolf Den is basically about a slave woman in ancient Pompeii. So think like ancient Roman times. And for those of you who know anything about history, like Pompeii has this volcanic eruption that destroys the city. Okay, so
Did not know.
prior to the volcanic eruption, Pompeii is like this thriving metropolis. And so the main character is a slave in a brothel. And in book 1, you're just kind of getting dropped into this city, this point in time with these characters. And there's this kind of trauma bond among the found family sisterhood of this brothel. But there's also this just tension around being a woman, being owned, trying to figure out how to play the political games of this world to keep yourself safe, to keep your sister safe, and trying to forge your own life, like your own values in this world where you're not really even seen as human. And it's just clever, and it's gripping, and it's machinations and manipulations, and it's womanly wiles, and it's brilliance, and it's hard, but it's done in a very tasteful way. So I always love to give the caveat and the warning that, like, obviously if anything with sexual assault or SA is an issue, please check your trigger warnings. But Elodie Harper, the author, this is absolutely a redemptive story, and it is absolutely an empowering story and a story about healing. And it is not graphic for graphic's sake or shocking for shocking's sake, and it is not meant to be it's not meant to be a hard read. And so for me, it was really beautiful and transcendent. I really, really loved it. I think like the reality of what she does for work is definitely there, but it's not constantly on the page and constantly in your face, and she's not being like brutalized constantly on the page at all. That is not what the book is about. The book is about her. It is about her triumph. So,
Ooh, I can't believe you don't talk about this more.
I know, it's so good.
Ugh.
It's actually just so good.
Keeping it on my TBR.
It's not fantasy, but it's very transportive, and sometimes historic fiction can be like that. Like it really takes you out of our world and our like whatever's going on here in the present, and it really transports you to another place, another time, another world that feels so different and foreign, and it has its own structure and its own organization and its own whole thing that you have to learn. So it's kind of like there's world building. Like, I don't know, it scratches the same itch that fantasy does for me.
Yeah, historic fiction is like a hit for us a lot.
Yeah.
And this was recommended to you by the Brothers Gwen.
Yes.
Which
Those
I feel
boys
like
sometimes have just amazing recs, man.
sometimes, always.
Yeah. Will and Ed, they're ones to follow. They've got great recs, and always like out of pocket, like not always stuff I've heard of, which is so fun.
Oh, yeah. That's what we're hoping this video does for you guys, that you can get that little feeling when you're like, I haven't even heard about that one. That's always really fun.
Or maybe you've heard of it, but you forgot about it. Hasn't been on your radar for a while. And we're here to bring it back. These are awesome.
New hype, the second wave,
Yes.
maybe even the third wave for some of these. We're giving it a wave. Okay. This one was the book club one that was recommended, picked by my book club friend, Sarah, and I absolutely loved it. This is by Lori Gottlieb, and it is Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. It is like nonfiction, but because she is a therapist in the book and she is talking about her patients, there's different names and some things are slightly changed. But this book reads fiction, but it is nonfiction, okay? And in this book, if you're like me, and I mean, Maddie just talked about wellness, one of my favorite things about wellness is therapy. I just love it. I am a huge therapy lover. And this book is a therapist who is not perfect. She makes that very clear, talking to her patients, and you get to know her patients through the book, and you hear conversations that feel so incredibly intimate because they are, right? Like those are some of the most raw conversations you'll ever have in your life, right? With your therapist. But if you're a human being living a human experience, you are going to relate so heavily to some of the patients, but also sometimes you're even going to relate to the therapist, which was very surprising. And I just thought this book opened some doors for me mentally. I think a couple of the therapy sessions were just really honest and clear. And sometimes that can be the hardest thing in life. So if you kind of like that vibe, I got a lot from this book. I started following the author online. This is before Maddie and I even had any sort of presence online. And I just really, really think she's a wise woman. And so that comes through in her book. If you want a book that's going to, be a little tender, a little sweet, but also a little bit painful and a little bit like, ooh, okay, I have some room to grow here. It's confronting, but it's really good.
Did it give Good Will Hunting vibes?
It's different because it's very modern.
Oh, okay.
But yes, sometimes just having that like mentorship feeling and having somebody who just has those one-offs that you're like, oh.
It's the cover for me, guys. That's what's put me off of it. But I should just
It's
do
just
it
a
on
tissue
audio.
box. So Maddie is offended by a tissue box.
I'm not offended. It's just not.
I just took the sleeve off. It's just a white book with silver text.
To
so
make
that's
it
what I have.
hardback.
Yeah.
It can cover a multitude
It gets
of
a
sins.
4.37 on Goodreads.
I know. I need to read it.
Yeah.
I love how all of these that Kristen is talking about, I haven't read yet, guys. What is wrong with me?
We just gotta, you know what? What's nice is we just build each other's TBRs little by little, and you can just pop these in whenever. There's no rush, Maddie. Good books will be good forever. You have one more for us.
Yes, I have If We Were Villains.
Which
by
I have read.
M.L. Rio, which we have talked about, but just not in a while. And it makes its circulation around the webs, I feel like, about this time every year. And for good reason, because while we all go back to school, it just gets us in the mood for dark academia books. And this is just one of the best ones. It truly, truly is. I love If We Were Villains because it has this thespian thread going through it. For those of you who were theater nerds or love theater or anything to do with stage production and Shakespeare and those kind of things, like it has that in it. So the premise is it's a bunch of students at college, I think, again, in the 90s. And I guess I was going to say boarding school. It's not boarding school. They're just at college. So they all live on campus. And they're thespians. They're studying theater. They're specifically studying Shakespeare and things this semester, just between a lot of substance abuse and a lot of method acting and like really getting into their roles. These students really lose themselves. And a death occurs and
Woohoo.
it's just like, wait, who done it? But also like, is everyone going crazy, or is it just, is this just method acting gone off the rails? Is this like what's happening? And there's this sort of forbidden, well, I wouldn't even call it forbidden, but let's call it a taboo romance kind of lurking in the background that's just juicy and delicious. And for me, it's just such a vibey book.
Oh, yeah.
Like you'll turn pages so fast just because it's atmospheric and you're just in the zone. It's like the feeling of Dead Poets Society, the movie, but in a book. And it's juicy and delicious. For me, I love Shakespeare. So there's a lot of Shakespearean verse throughout. And the psychological hook of it all is like, what's fact and what's fiction, right? Like what of it is the play and what of it is the play bleeding into life.
Yeah.
So it was juicy and delicious. I definitely need a reread. I love it so much. It's such a vibe. It's perfect. It's perfect during like the first semester, fall semester, every year. Got to do it. It's not even strictly like Halloween season. It's really just like first semester vibes. Every fall, you gotta at least be tempted by If We Were Villains.
I remember reading it and thinking I was getting something. I don't know if you just were like going blind or what, but I was like, what is going on here?
I know.
And then we got sent a puzzle for it.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that.
Yeah, it's dreamy.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, ooh, reread while I puzzle? Hell yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think I did it. I just read the book because I wanted to like read all the verse. But I bet it would be good on audio. I haven't tried the audiobook.
Oh, yeah. I like remember this vividly.
Yeah.
The leaves had changed. I was on my walks. I was doing puzzles. Like, you guys,
it's so
read it right
fun.
now.
Yeah. So hopefully this list has given you guys a lot of variety and given you a peek into the things that we should be talking about way more than we do. We don't want to be gatekeepers over here, and we can do more. This list was like 20 something long and we thought that won't fit into an episode. Let's just trim it down.
We might need a part 2.
Yeah, if you want a part 2, let us know. But also, we want to hear from you guys. What are the books that you just don't talk about enough that you rated highly and you've either just forgotten them or you forget to talk about them, or maybe they're just kind of obscure and you think maybe it's just a 5-star for you, but it won't be for other people.
Yeah, we want to hear stuff that's not just like all over the web already. Or maybe it was, but like it lost its luster, so we like haven't seen it yet.
Because we believe good books will be good forever, we feel like, if you rated it 5 stars 5 years ago, we still want to hear about it. And it doesn't have to be like making the rounds right now. And hopefully that's given you something to add to your TBR. And hopefully it hasn't stressed you out. Because again, good books will be good forever. You don't have to read all of these right now. Just stick them on your list and read them when it makes sense for you.
We'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Bye.
Bye.